Hello everyone and welcome back to Commander 99. We're back with another Courtside Brawl pre-constructed deck gameplay. Today we're going to be playing with Wild Bounty. So this deck focuses very heavily on casting creature spells and drawing cards, putting lands into play to get incremental value. So with the cast trigger, when the creatures enter the battlefield, they get extra mana production, extra card draw. You're really just trying to outvalue your opponents with these pre-constructed decks. And so you want to be able to close out the game once you've created enough creatures and put enough lands into play. Perhelion and Endrace Forerunners, as well as the Thorn Mammoth, is just going to run over what your opponents are doing. So that's pretty much how the deck functions. You know, it's good stuff. And let's get into some games, see if we can kind of close things out against our opponents. All right. All right. Let's see what we're up against first. Playing the Chulane pre-constructed deck. And we're in a mirror match. All right. So first one to get that on their commander wins, right? That's how mirror matches work. And we get to go first with a Mana Dork, with a Biomancer's Familiar. We can chain things together with a Meteor Golem if we so choose. Just missing one of our colors, not a problem. Hopefully we'll draw it up real soon. There it is, an island. So we'll lead on a Leafkin Druid. Probably take a turn off. Don't really want to cast either one of these without Chulane out. And I also kind of want to leave a mana open to protect Chulane from the removal. So I'm going to play Familiar. And no attacks with the Leafkin Druid. Pass back over to our opponent. So because we have an extra land in hand, I really do think casting Chulane a turn later to interact with any removal our opponent might have. Like, they got their Leafkin Druid, they got their Wayfinder. Like, we're going to be able to hopefully, you know, protect our Chulane by leaving up some extra mana. Alright, we draw a Circuitous Root, and you know what, let's get down Chulane, because that tap activation, we have to wait a turn. No attacks. Don't want to lose our Biomancer's Familiar just yet. See if our opponent has any removal, or if they just want to cast the Risen Reef and get some value. Incongruity. We're going to get a Frog Lizard. We're going to put our commander back in the command zone. The fact that they main phase that, though, means that we're going to have the option to play our ramp spell and then recast our commander just fine. So let's cast our Root, grab a couple Guild Gates, and head to combat. Attack with the Frog Lizard they were so graciously willing to give us. Take 3, down to 22. Pass back over. Risen Reef for our opponent. Gonna either get a land or draw a card. Let's see if they play a land. These precons have quite a bit of lands in the deck. They're gonna flower, go grab one. So that means no flourish. No way to give them all +2/+2. That's good for us. Plains, and they're probably gonna pass. Ooh, getting in. All right, we'll take 2. No blocks. And since our opponent hasn't played their commander yet, and we've got plenty of mana, 2 more after that if we want to use the Leafkin Druid. No attacks. We're just going to pass the turn from here. Probably could have gotten in with the Frog Lizard, but this will leave us a nice blocker for what our opponent's doing. Okay, they're going to cast their commander, so we're going to Fairy Vandal. Draw a card. And this is going to leave us actually in a pretty good spot. Yeah, they're going to get to draw a card and get some value off of this, but really what we're going to do is chain some value out of this. So, play a land. Now the question is, we've got 7 mana with 2 remaining after that, 2 from the Leafkin Druid. We can bounce back our Meteor Golem and cast... Okay, so 2 mana, 5 more, cast the Meteor Golem. Get a counter on our Fairy Vandal. Destroy their commander. Now, I was going to say this gives us the option to Prison Realm as well, but we're just going to head to combat. Attack with the token, attack with our flyer, pass back over to them. If they want to block, they can more than welcome to block. This will let us Growth Spiral, this will let us activate our commander to return Meteor Golem or protect our commander. Ooh, okay. That is a Thorn Mammoth. We're going to have to see what they target first. Okay, so they've targeted our commander. We can return it back to our hand, which I think we're going to do that. So, since... And they scoop it up, because then we can just Prison Realm and all that. Good game. Alright, we're back with the Chulane Wild Bounty Precon. We're just gonna try and draw some cards and hopefully outvalue this this mirror match. As far as our opening hand goes, we have District Guide to get us more lands if we need to, Gyre Engineer to ramp. We're gonna keep this. Plenty of ramp, and a late game Parhelion feels real good. Going first, probably better than the Chulane Mirror. Even though they get the extra card draw, we get to hopefully play our commander first. Incubation Druid coming down. Didn't draw a land, but if we draw one next turn, that's fine. If we don't, get to go search for one. Our opponent plays Paradise Druid. How badly do I want the 2 mana now or the 1 mana later? Let's go Gyre Engineer. That'll get us 2 mana, and we can always District Guide later. That way we can play District Guide and our Wayfinder to go search for a land and put it on top for the following turn. That'll be a way to get us 2 lands, and the faster we get out this Parhelion, the better. With these pre-constructed decks, it's pretty difficult to interact with. We do draw a forest, so that's good. Our opponent has 4 cards in hand, and we have that much mana. We've got to play our land for turn. So maybe we just throw down our commander. See if our opponent wants to either interact with it or save their mana for something else. They're up to 7 mana. They're playing Prison Realm. Get to exile our commander. Head it back to the command zone. That's fine. Get that out of the way. They still don't have enough mana to cast their own. Got to worry about that Beanstalk Giant coming down later. And their own District Guide. 1 more mana and the Leafkin Druid will tap for... Or 1 more creature. The Leafkin Druid will tap for double. Got to keep an eye out for that. And they grab a basic. So maybe they want the untapped mana. 2 power coming in, no blocks. Okay, we draw a Tome of Legends. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to adapt Incubation Druid and then add 3 green to District Guide. And that'll grab us a gate. And we'll go ahead and grab the Selesnya Guildgate and play that as our land for turn. So, got plenty of mana over here. If our opponent wants to play their own commander, it's likely we'll Parhelion during the next turn. I don't know if we have enough power to do both the things we want to, but unfortunately, because we don't have any interaction, we're going to need some kind of blocker for Chulane or for the Beanstalk Giant. Do I want to trade here? Yeah, let's go ahead and trade. Ooh, end race Forerunners. Okay, so by playing the Parhelion here, we have to tap down 7 mana and then take 6. We don't have very many other options in terms of like ways to interact with our opponents, so I think we're going to go ahead and do it. Getting down to 4/4 Angels with our attacks is going to be pretty powerful unless our opponent has some sort of interaction. I mean, yeah, we'll take a little bit of damage here with the Paradise and Beanstalk Giant, but I don't know. We got 2 power with our Wayfinder. Plenty of power with our Fairy Formation. You can attack in for 9. Ooh, even getting in with the Leafkin Druid. Okay, they changed their mind. Down to 15. Plus, after Parhelion gets in some attacks and we make some angels, End-Raise Forerunners means that drawing that off the top is pretty good. 5 mana. We're at 15. How badly do we want to keep down that... do we really want to like Shark to Crab and adapt it? I'm honestly okay with that. We can keep the Beanstalk Giant down for defensives and get in with our Parhelion at the same time. So adapt, keep the Beanstalk Giant tapped down, crew up our Parhelion, and get in for some damage. So that's 5, 9, 13 damage. Put our opponent pretty much in lethal if we get down the End-Race Forerunners next turn. All right, let's see what our opponent wants to do. Now is the turn. They can interact with Parhelion. The Beanstalk Giant isn't going to untap. And I think that's game. I mean, we had our End-Race Forerunners next turn, so good game, opponent. All right, we're back with another Chulane Wild Bounty Precon game. Looks like we're going to be matching up this game against the Mardu Knight Tribal Precon, so this should be a fun matchup for us. We're going to need to outvalue our opponent before they out-aggro us. And we get to go first, and that is perfectly fine when you have some card draw. So what's great is we get to Incubation Druid turn 2, District Guide if we need to hit our 3rd land drop, which it's looking like we might just. So let's go ahead and Incubation Druid. That way we can get down our root and get our commander down and start casting some creatures. Run away together for some nice interaction. It's a good opening hand. Corpse Knight. Okay, so here comes some of the aggro that our opponent might have. This is a tap land, not untapped, so we're still going to District Guide to grab a gate. We got 3 in the deck. Actually, do we want to grab a basic? Since we have a tap land already in hand, let's go ahead and grab a forest instead and play our game land. That way, if we want to play an untapped land next turn, we can. We have the option to. We don't necessarily need it, and then this is going to get 2 tapped lands anyway, so let's see if our opponent has anything while we try to ramp up in these first couple turns. I'm worried about interaction. Okay, so they're just going to hardcast the Smitten Swordmaster, and no attacks with the Corpse Knight. So we'll play a forest. I'm not too worried about what our opponent has going on over there. 4 mana. Could tap 5 to adapt the Incubation Druid, or we could just root. Let's see, that produces 3 mana, this produces 2. Let's go ahead and root so that next turn we can Incubation Druid adapt if we so choose. Grab the Simic and Selesnya Guild Gate. And no attacks. Leave our discard back to block the Corpse Knight if we so choose. And luckily we got this Steelbane Hydra in hand as well. With all this ramping up that we're doing, we're going to be able to destroy plenty of artifacts and enchantments, which with Sir Gwen, there is tons of equipment. All right. They're going to draw a card, lose a life with their Foulmire Knight, and then they're going to cast it so that they can get the Corpse Knight. How badly do we want to block this? I think we're going to go ahead and do so just because it has lifelink. Make the trade now rather than letting them gain a bunch of life. We draw into a Meteor Golem. All right. Well, I think what we're going to do here is adapt our commander. Maybe we hold off on the adapt. Yeah, because it taps for 2 mana, we're going to go ahead and Chulane. And cast this Wayfinder. Wayfinder's going to draw us a card. We'll play a forest. I think we want to grab the creature over the land here. Creature gets us more card draw. Opponent plays a land. See if they have any removal for our commander. If not, we'll get some nice card draw and some nice ramp. All right, Icon of Ancestry. That's going to give their team a bit of power. And we're going to have this... we're going to have a nice blocker for Corpse Knight anyway. So, I mean, taking 2 from this Knight, not too big of a deal. And if we want to, we can always Steelbane Hydra for a ton. Okay, Dispark. Head that back to the command zone. We did get a single card draw off of that, so that's nice. We can always recast it. No blocks. Okay, so let's do this now. We waited a turn. Now we can adapt. 3 mana for this. Yeah, let's go ahead and hard cast the Rosethorn Alkalite and get down a Tomb of Legend. No attacks. We can trade with the Foulmire Knight if we want. See what our opponent wants to do. They've got enough mana to cast Sir Gwen if they want, and we can interact with it. Bounce it back to their hand. Kill it. We got a bit of options. They don't have any like threatening equipment just yet, but the Corpse Knight gain and drain is going to be a problem eventually. Okay, Tajic Legion's Edge. Our opponent's creatures can't take non-combat damage. And they're going to get to Mentor. So that's 9. I think we're going to attempt to trade with Tajic. Oh, you know what? They left mana open for the activation. So we're going to double block the Corpse Knight. Because they could give Tajic first strike for 2 mana. We'll just trade our creature for their Corpse Knight. We want to get rid of that. They can activate the Icon of Ancestry, or they can just return Corpse Knight back to hand. That also seems good. Oh, wow. Okay, Biomancer's Familiar means we get to activate with this Steelbane Hydra for much less. I think we're going to get rid of the Icon, and our opponent only has 2 cards in hand anyway. It just depends on how many +1/+1 counters I want to put in this. So Biomancer's Familiar. We'll go 3, 4, 5. That way we can leave 1 mana open for an activation. Get rid of the Icon. And do we want to attack? I think we still want to leave blockers. We're at 14 life, so although we have the Steelbane Hydra, it's good to have someone that can trade with the Death Touch Knight pretty easily. See what our opponent wants to do. We got 4 more activations with the Steelbane Hydra and plenty of removal. All right, opponent gets out their commander. we draw into a fairy formation. So I think what we do here is we cast Chulane, get a tome counter on the Tome of Legends, and let's see. Our opponent has Corpse Knight and 1 unknown. All right, we're going to pass. No attacks. We can use Incubation Druid to activate the Steelbane Hydra if they play any equipment. We can draw a card with our tome and run away together if we so choose to bounce their commander and one of our creatures. So we have quite a few options. Okay, there's Sir Conrad. That's fine. It can't attack this turn. Corpse Knight coming down afterwards. All right. And looks like they're heading to combat. So let's see what they want to do. Okay, so we are in fact going to... Well, our opponent didn't attack with anything. We're going to do this now. I want to get some card drawing. So let's actually bounce the Sir Conrad and our own little Wayfinder. And with our remaining mana, draw a card off of the Tomb of Legends. And it'll be our turn. So, Meteor Golem, returning, putting our land from our hand into play, and returning, or destroying Sir Gwen, putting it back in the command zone. And our opponent might be thinking, let's see what they want to do. Putting their commander back in their command zone. Or in the graveyard. Oh, they must have something to interact with that. Might have some recursion. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana remaining after that. I don't see playing the Wayfinder like to be that important right now. Let's just... They got plenty of blockers, so no attacks. This allows us to return Meteor Golem back to hand if we so choose for a single mana, destroy any artifact. So we've got some nice interaction. If our opponent tries to play anything, like for a single mana, we can get rid of the Ancestral Blade. But they do get to drain us with Corpse Knight. So we gotta watch our life total. Sky Knight Legionnaire, okay. That's perfectly fine. Drain us for another 1. And then Order of Midnight, yeah. So they're gonna attempt to deal quite a bit of damage here. Are they attacking, is the question, though. Getting them with their flyer, okay. Well, we'll take the 2. Go down a 9. We're gonna do this now. Going to destroy the Ancestral Blade. Gonna return Meteor Golem back to our hand. Activate the tomb and draw a card. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Head back to our turn. Play a land. Recast Meteor Golem. We're at a low enough life total now that I feel like I need to get rid of not only this Sky Knight Legionnaire, but also the Corpse Knight. So since we know they have the Sir Conrad in their hand, let's go ahead and get rid of the Corpse Knight first. Being at 9. We have plenty of mana left. Let's play this fairy formation. We want to start going on the offensive soon rather than later. Make sure we leave enough mana open to activate our Chulane. And since we can't do much else, I think we're gonna pass back over to our opponent. 9's healthy enough. 9's a reasonable life total, but Sir Conrad allows them to deal some more damage. It allows them to hurt us for a bit if we block all their creatures, essentially. Anytime a creature dies or is put into a graveyard. So there's the activation. We take 1 down to 8. And this is where blockers are going to start to factor in. Okay. Meteor Golem coming back down. Draw another card. Put a forest into play. Kill Sir Conrad. Go down to 8. We're going to play Shark Crab. Okay, so the remaining mana we have here, we have the option to activate Shark to Crab and keep something tapped down. And I think we're going to do just that. I really don't want to get attacked by what our opponent has going on. So, yeah. That's reasonable. We also have a Leafkin Druid we can play here. With our remaining mana, draw another card with our commander. And that gives us 1 land that we drew in order to redo the Meteor Golem loop. I'm okay with them double blocking, but looks like they scooped it up. We just outvalued them. All right, well, good game. Good game, opponent. So, Chulane, Teller of Tales. With this deck, I feel like when we went into the mirror match, it was pretty much whoever got their commander out first. You know, if you drew Biomancer's Familiar, you got a lot of value off of that. At the game where we got Parhelion down, it was just a powerhouse. Being able to tap and crew it up and create 4/4 angels, and then use those angels because they have vigilance to crew up another creature, and you know, we were a turn away from winning with Endray's Forerunner, so that was a fun game. But man, the amount of cards you get to draw from Chulane, and just it's incredible. It's a really fun deck. I enjoyed this one a lot. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to leave a comment. Tell us what you think of the Chulane Brawl Precon. What was your experience with the deck? And definitely, if you want to see more content like this, let us know in the comments. We'll see about doing maybe some upgrades and bring these commanders back to Brawl once the format becomes released. All right, thanks so much for watching.